What's up, guys?
How are you? Good.
Good. Great.
Maybe kind of a thought on coming into work this week with a win.
Yeah, it's always better. Winning always makes everything better. So, that's what we set out to do every single week. So it's good to get a big win. Now we got to move the page and try to start stacking them.
He was asked about the receivers and he said there was a good team meeting this morning. Give us any insight on the message.
Yeah, we just have a lot of confidence in those guys. Obviously, they know what happened on Sunday. They know that we all got to be better. That includes myself too. So it's always productive, but we have a ton of confidence in that receiver room.
How are you feeling yourself and production obviously speaks for itself. How are you feeling this season in terms of areas that maybe you even feel like you're improving at this stage in your career?
I feel like I'm always trying to improve, always trying to get better, always trying to be an option for this team to rely on to in crucial situations. I can come up hopefully big for this team. So, but that's also in all areas. Like I want to be reliable in the run game as much as I can, and sometimes if I have to do some dirty work in the pass blocking game, chips, anything. Just want to be reliable for the team so that they can trust in me basically.
How much was that final touchdown in the last game talking about doing the work in the run game? I mean, you're coming with that emotion there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was for at least my specific role in the design of who I was supposed to block, but I'm basically a fixer there in that aspect. So it was great design in that aspect of like I'm there to kind of fill that gap and hopefully open up enough space because you just got to give 3-8 enough space and he can make something work and shake. So it was great running by him. That's my gap basically. They kind of did an outlaw stunt where they looped out. So it's a tough stunt that can be a challenge down there on the goal line, and so basically just controlling that gap in a way.
So you mentioned the run game. You guys use that opposite eye formation a lot. You don't really feel like see that in the modern NFL. I'm wondering for you guys, what do you see as the advantage from those kinds of moves?
It's always good to sometimes get in those big formations a little bit. It can be a breaker for a lot of other teams. I wouldn't say a ton of teams do it. Teams obviously are starting to kind of get back to it in a way, but it can, present different things to a defense to kind of be able to take advantage of things.
And is there any reason that you've seen why you think teams are kind of leaning more on those kind of heavy looks?
Well, obviously teams are playing a lot of coverage in a lot of ways too. So you try to, maybe run the ball. You're going to run the ball a lot of times out of those formations, and play action game can be huge out of those formations as well.
Are you happy to see those responsibilities sometimes to see this sort of city?
Yeah, it's always good when you get a 300-pound guy to do some of those things too. But you try to, like I said, I want to be reliable in those aspects too. So if they ask me to do something like that, I'm always available.
I saw you over at Boston College on Monday. What was that experience like, and just how did it kind of come about?
Yeah, it was a cool experience. I actually spoke with the Athletes in Action group there, just about my faith, just my journey, my testimony, all that God has done in my life to get me to this point, because I wouldn't be where I am without His faithfulness and without His just working in my life. So I was able to kind of communicate that with some of the athletes there and talk with that. My wife came with me too, so that was always special to have my wife with me. Mark and Danielle Herslick, hopefully I said their name right. They're the leaders there, and we've become pretty good friends with them. So it was good to partner with them and get to meet a bunch of BC athletes and kind of just speak some life into them.
The quarterbacks, I'd like to get your insight on both of them, starting with maybe Jacoby, just what he did the other day and just what that says to you, and then Drake, the chemistry you seem to be developing.
Yeah, you can't say enough about how tough Jacoby is, just mentally and physically, to step in that situation. He's played a lot of football in this league, and he's a great player, and to step in that situation and come up big for us, just especially at that last drive, was really, really cool to see him sticking in there in the pocket, making plays with his legs, making some big throws when we really needed it. So that's huge. And then Drake is just a guy that's is continuing to develop in so many aspects and doing a great job. It's fun to kind of build that relationship week on week and day by day. So he's going to continue to get better, and it's fun getting to compete with him.
After talking to Gerard, it sounds like there's some uncertainty this week with Drake's situation moving into this game. I know you kind of touched on this before, but can you speak on maybe some of the challenges when it comes to trying to game plan from your perspective for when you have some uncertainty in the quarterback?
Well, now both guys have played, so it's Jacoby's played a lot in this league, like I said, and Drake's got games under his belt and continuing to build. So that's always a positive when you have that, when you have multiple games and two guys that have played well this season.
How about the third quarterback in case it's Jacoby and Drake can't go, and then Jody comes to back up 1 point away? I know there's limited time. It may not be a lot of reps, but what have you seen from him?
I mean, Joe's super talented, big arm, very athletic. So very dynamic athlete in a lot of ways. So he's a great player, and I know he'll be ready if that presents itself.
Hunter, I believe you, Austin, and Jaheim were on the field together for the first time on National Tight Ends Day. I was just curious, was that something that was intentional? Was that special to you guys at all?
No, I mean, but, Jaheim is doing a great job. He's coming along great. He's a great player that we're getting involved, trying to get involved more, and he's doing a lot of good things, special teams wise too. And he's fun guy to have in the room. So. Yeah, it's always good to have three good tight ends on the field at the same time, especially on National Tight Ends Day. It was fun to have all of us out there.
What have you seen from, you talked about it a little bit earlier, about Ramondre's ability to, make something out of nothing? He seems to have that ability to do it time and time again.
Yeah, he's a special back. I've been around some good ones, some really, really good ones, and he's up there with all of them. Just with his size and how big he is, I think people underappreciate how big he is actually, and the way he can move with how big he is. He's a special back, and it always helps when you have a back like that behind you when you're blocking, because you know that you want to give that just maybe a little bit extra, just to give him a glimpse of hope, a glimpse of a hole where he can just kind of squirt through and make it easy. So he's a special guy to block for, and it's always good having him behind us.
Especially in the goal line.
Yeah, on the goal line especially. I mean, you give him a little opening, he's gonna find a way across the goal line.
How did you celebrate? Was it? Last question. Correct. Well, it's the National Tight Ends Day question. How'd you celebrate it?
Well, it's always good to celebrate National Tight Ends Day with a win. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got me a cake and all that. No, it wasn't anything crazy. You just keep the main thing, and trying to get a win. That's the biggest thing. So obviously, we're always trying to get the tight ends in the end zone, but we'll take a W.
Doing the right thing and not changing every single week, but how much does it reinforce what you're doing when you're able to pull out a win like you did on Sunday?
The win that we did on Sunday is a testament to a lot of hard work throughout practice. These last 3 or 4 weeks, we've had great practices. Sometimes it didn't show these last couple of weeks, but this past weekend it showed. And now we can start telling guys hard work works, keep working hard, and now moving on to the Titans.
How tough was it to see Josh go? NFL's a business, but obviously you guys create relationships with these guys a lot as well.
Very tough. I know the business is how it is, but that's my guy. That's my brother, You build a lot of relationships with guys when they're here for a long period of time, and to see them go, you wish them the best, but you also hate to see them leave,
The pass rush looks a lot different now than it was at the start of training camp, for example. Matthew, Christian, Joshua, all gone. How do you feel you guys who are still here, how do you feel you've done, and maybe some points of emphasis for this group moving forward?
I feel like we've done some great things, still room to improve. Still, main goal is to get the quarterback. We have a lot of guys who can still pass rush, from Keon to Anthony Jennings, myself. Now adding in some other people into the mix of rushing. So I think it looks different, but still effective.
It seems like line game is really effective for you guys. I'm curious, how do you feel like you progressed in that area since the beginning of the season? And what are the keys to you running those effectively?
Communication. That's pretty much it. That's going to be the key to get better every week.
At this time last week, we were peppering you guys with questions about comments made after the game. It just felt like a tough week, and you guys really handled it. Have things stabilized a little bit compared to where they were last week, where you can get to preparing for the football game, the atmosphere different, more?
What do you mean by stabilized?
Stabilized meaning the swirl of questions about the game. You guys have been being called soft. Are you soft? All that stuff. You addressed it. You won a football game. You're here this week, and now it's. I know the season kind of ebbs and flows.
Speaking to the ebbs and flows of the season, we always told to ride the wave like a surfer, just stay even keel the entire time. Only a few of us really get asked a lot of questions. For the most part, we do a good job as leaders and captains on the team to not let the noise affect what goes on inside the locker room. And what goes inside the locker room is pretty much everybody coming to work every day, working hard, getting better. We know the things that we need to work on. So this win helped us helped us see all of our hard work pay off. But like I said, at the same time, just like any other week, we had to turn the page and move on. So we learned from everything. Glad we got the win. Now, whatever the outcome is, have to move on to next week, which is the Titans.
What have you seen from Jaquelin Roy since he got here?
Actually, he's a very productive player. Makes a lot of plays in the run game and pass game. Very strong at the point of attack. Does a good job shedding blocks and making plays. So doing really good.
Deatrich, given the uncertainty of their quarterback situation, when you prepare in a week like this, where you can have Rudolph, who's one type of quarterback, and Levis, maybe a little bit more athletic, how do you go about it? What do you see from
We watch both of them. It's been in the league for a long time, so I've seen a lot of players. One quarterback's a pocket passer, the other one's a runner, or they're both runners but different styles, or they're both passers but different styles. I've seen it before. This isn't anything new for me. So as guys like myself and coaches help the team prepare, as you watch both of them, you know what the overall goal is to do. You know when someone comes in, what their personalities are based on different pressures or different reads, what that person does. But overall, just watching film, learn what they do.
What have you seen from O'Shawn Mathis since he came to the team?
Say again?
What have you seen from O'Shawn Mathis?
O'Shawn. Yeah. Every day he's the same person. Comes in every day, works super hard, learns the playbook really fast, knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And high energy guy as well. On the sideline, always cheering. On the field, bullies anybody who's in his way. So always good to see that. Thank you.